everyone, welcome back to my channel. It is Krista here to do the weekly reading for the sign of Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. If you don't know your Moon and Rising sign, Sagittarius, check the description box. There's a link there where you can learn your whole birth chart, and that way if you want additional messages for the week, you can always look up your Moon and Rising sign readings on top of your Sun sign reading today. This is for the week of July 11th to July 18th. Now, as promised, I will be using a different deck and doing a 5-card spread today just to keep things a little fresh. And the main spread will use the Medicine card Tarot for, and then we'll be drawing additional message cards from the Wisdom of the Oracle Tarot and the Healing with the Angels Tarot. And if you were watching for the last couple of weeks, you'll notice that I was asking what are general messages for your sign, but I'm a little bit happier and a little bit more pleased with the outcome by asking, what does your sign need to know? Even though it's still a general reading, so whatever's most prominent in your life, I'll encourage you to apply these messages to, but it does give a little bit more insight in terms of what you may not be aware of that's available to you or options that you have. So I just feel that by switching up the question a little bit when shuffling and asking Spirit to help guide these cards, that hopefully it'll be a little bit more appealing and more accessible for you in terms of a general reading by asking, what do you need to know? So in saying all that, let us begin, Sagittarius. So I wish for you all success, joy, and wellness. I call upon Archangels Michael, Gabriel, Metatron, and Uriel to guide this reading in peace, clarity, protection, and wisdom. And I ask that Gaia please bless this reading for Sagittarius. All right. So let's begin with shuffling. I'm always looking for jumper cards. If we get over about a minute of shuffling, however, I am going to just split the deck and pull your reading from the center of the deck, okay? Just because the shuffling honestly can go on so long that it turns these videos into little feature films. So I'm going to try to keep it simple here for everybody. So what does Sagittarius need to know? Right. So central position card so far, Sagittarius, is the bear, and the bear's keyword is introspection. So depending on what is going on around the central position, which is inviting you to alert yourself to what do you need to know here, that you could require some introspection time. Another way to view this card, and it's probably obvious to you when considering the bear, is hibernation. You can consider introspection as a type of hibernation. So that this may not have occurred to you, or if it has, you may not have thought it was important enough to act upon, but it's saying here that there is an opportunity here to get ahead or help yourself somehow by turning inward. And I would even recommend that for any zodiac sign, especially if you're under the gun about something or trying to come to terms with something, or even in the innovation or imagination stage. Sometimes it's exciting to ask other people for opinions or insight, but it's also really cool going inside and finding out what you already have available to you within. So introspection or hibernation, if you will, is an option for you in terms of what you need to know. And the cards to the left and right of the bear are the snake. And the snake's keyword is transmutation. And the card to the right is the ant, and the ant's keyword is patience. So I'm just going to shuffle for another minute, not even, for about 10 more seconds. If we don't get more jumpers, I'm going to pull your last 2 cards here, and then we're going to get a whole nice eagle eye view of this reading. And I will just sort of contemplate what's there in front of me here. That was a pile, so I'm going to keep shuffling for about 3 or 4 more times. See if we get 2 more jumpers. Wow, okay. I love when that happens. I'm like, I just need 2 more, and then they just appear. All right. So then in your outside influence, or what you're probably already aware of, is the bat. The bat's keyword is rebirth. I think that you're feeling here as though you need to come out of something. Maybe there's something stagnant, or there's something you're just really tired of going over and over and over. And again, because this is a general reading, whatever's most prominent to you, this could be travel, love, relationships, business. It could be starting up a business. It could be a project of your um, you're pouring your heart and soul into. You could be a student. So whatever's going on here, please apply accordingly. But in terms of these two cards in particular, we're looking at introspection and then rebirth. I think that you're feeling as though you want to get out of a cycle, or it's time to figure out how to get out of something that you feel rather stuck in. The other reason I would be saying that as well is because we don't only have rebirth here, we have transmutation. So there's a great desire here, because this is energy that you're coming out of and into the week. So you're leaving the transmutation energy, coming into hibernation or introspection energy. And then the probable outcome in terms of what do you need to know if you're moving in this direction, if it's successful for you, is patience. And any change requires patience, of course. And certainly in the application of it, I mean, we can have all the best ideas in the world, right? In terms of how to improve our lives, etc. But until it's applied, and maybe that's what's going on here. You've discovered exactly what it is you need to do to move forward, to please yourself in this new arena or with this new information, but it's just about the application of it that's sort of sucking up time, and you're not sure how to implement this in your world right now. So this could be very well what's available to you that's going to help concrete that, or help to make that transition even easier for you, by just going within, by turning to yourself. I think you might know best at this time how to proceed, Sagittarius. And then quickly at the bottom of the spread here, this is something that's available to you that you might not be aware of. And it's the lizard. And the lizard's keyword is dreaming. So again, we have not only introspection or hibernation, but we have the dreaming card. And it could be something that you find encouraging, or even, what's the word when you find it? Like an aha moment in the dream world. So if you're napping, or if you're sleeping and you're waking up with dreams or a vision, so to speak, I would apply that, if it's applicable, obviously, to what's going on, or apply themes about it, or look at the themes going on within the dream, or even a daydream. And that might even help as well. But I think that this is going to occur if you sort of zone out, or take time out, take time away from a schedule, or take time away from looking externally for answers to this issue or concern this week. So I'm going to be looking this way and then this way, and then I'll be showing you the cards one by one in just a moment. So like I said, we have transmutation, hibernation, and patience, which is the outline that you're probably aware of here in the week that will help you. And then from top to bottom, we have rebirth, hibernation, and dreaming. So a great deal, there's something under the surface here that really needs to come to fruition. I think probably the highlight of this reading, in terms of how, like I said before, in terms of application or putting it to actual use in the material world, it is going to require patience. And it might even be you already knew all this, but you didn't know that it was going to take this much time. And it's just saying here that this is going to take probably more time and patience than you had anticipated, but I do believe it'll be worth it. I think anytime you are transmutating and there's a rebirth involved, I think it is its own cycle, and it needs to be respected. So this whole process needs to be respected, not just the obvious, which is success at the end of it. If you can look at the whole phase as though it's all important, not just the outcome, I think that this will be a little bit more easy to zen out on and maintain patience with here, Sagittarius. So let's look at these one by one together, and then we will go ahead and draw additional cards for you. We have this, I love this deck so much. The artwork is just stunning, but the bear is so beautiful. He actually looks soft. He looks cuddly. He looks pensive. But we know that they all have to take, all bears have a hibernation stage, and it's for their own good. And it could just be getting out of the spotlight, or getting out of routine, particularly if it has to do with other people or groups of people. And this could be personal or professional, but really relying on yourself with regard to this theme this week, I think will really behoove you. And like I said, energy that you're just coming out of is the snake. There's a lot of options. You can see the eggs are always about fertility, universal symbol of fertility. There's a lot available to you right now. You might even be there could be concern here about there's so many things available to you or so many options or ways to turn or ways to take this, whatever this is for you this week, that maybe that's what it is this week in terms of not probable outcomes or how to complete something, but just choosing what you want to focus on in order to get to the bottom of. So if that's the case, still the same thing applies. Really go within, find out what's most important to you, and then have patience with the process. And then, like I said, with the ant, this sweet little ant here with its leaf, we know ants are incredibly strong. So this could be an example of you being stronger than you think and having patience with yourself at this time. I would even recommend that as well. Certainly, if it has to do with other people, apply it to the other person or other people in your life, if that's where you need to apply the patience. The bat is a mammal. Some people often forget that, but they actually have live birth babies and they nurse them. So they're actually mammals. They're warm-blooded, weird little creatures. But bats are actually kind of fascinating, and there's so many different species of them. The bottom line here is that rebirth is available to you. It could even be considered a type of shamanic death between two worlds. The reason why I brought up the story of the bats is to illustrate that they kind of live in between two worlds as a mammal. So that you could have something available to you that's been secret or that you've kept hidden from yourself or didn't even consider to be an option. And in terms of what do you need to know, it could be you might even be directed in this way, and partly because of this card and either daydreaming or night dreams, but you could be directed into a different avenue that you found unappealing before or even unfamiliar, and you wouldn't let yourself go there. So consider new avenues this week as well, Sagittarius, in terms of outcomes or, innovating this process. Look at all different avenues that are available to you. And like I said, the lizard as something that you didn't know that was available to you. I think the dream world could have answers for you. And yes, that includes daydreaming. So, and what a beautiful way to go into the daydreaming process, which is to just give yourself a break. Maybe this is the largest message here in terms of patience and rebirth, transmutation, and the dream world, and then hibernation right in the middle of it. It's the greatest outcome could be had just by being still. Sometimes the effort is no effort, even though that sounds counterintuitive. But maybe if you rest on it, give it a little bit of a break, stop pushing or pressing so hard, you could find that a greater outcome can be found. But I do think it will create a shift in if not daily routine or activities or thought processes, but an overall shift in consciousness, which would be lovely. I love the thought that all signs in the zodiac are helping to raise consciousness for humanity. So however this works out for you, I always encourage viewers to give me feedback. So let me know how this works out for you this week too. I'm curious. And let me know certainly if this makes sense to you as well. So let's get another card here to polish off this reading for you. I'll shuffle a couple more times here. Like I said, I don't like taking up the whole reading with shuffling. I'd rather do some interpretation of the cards. So we'll do about 3 more times. If we don't get a jumper, I will pull from the center of the deck for you. All right. All right, blessed. Honestly, not surprised to see that. I swear to God, that comes up nearly every reading for you on some level in your reading, Sagittarius. You are not going to be stressed about this at all, and it's not a surprise. This also has Capricornian energy here. You can see the shape is Capricornian. All that means is that this is 10th house ruled, which means that it probably has to do with business or something to do with the public, something to do in the public eye, business, contracts, time, schedules, rules, regulations, something around this concept here. But of course, with the coloration, we have ascension coloring. We have not only mauve, but the purple is always ascension color, and the stars, and then you're elevated beyond something. So even though there's something troubling or heavy, or you feel really connected to the material world, I do think that you understand that you're blessed, even if you don't understand why. And blessed just means that you are always going to have your footing. You're not going to be worried about whatever's going on. You don't pour your time and energy into that, which is beautiful because you can spend that time and energy on solutions or, innovation or going within and finding answers within and trying new things. So it's like your energy isn't going to be wrapped up in worry. It'll be wrapped up in problem solving. So again, not overly surprised to see this. And then with music being your final card for the reading, this is beautiful because everyone knows music is the language of the universe. You can be any age, any culture in the world, and as soon as there's music played, you can really connect with someone. So there's a great deal of connection here, or the affinity or ability to connect with others through music. And another way to read this with regard to this spread as well is that this can help to elevate you to places, particularly in terms of dreaming or hibernation. You can find a lot of strength here, or even inspiration in the world of music. So if you're finding there's a lack in your world this week, turn to music that appeals to you, that you find inspiring. And I think that this might flow a little bit more for you as well. So that concludes your reading. I really hope that you enjoyed it. Like I said, let me know how this works out for you. And if you're not already, make sure you subscribe because I upload videos for your sign every single week, Sagittarius. So until we meet next time, take good care and I will see you then. Bye for now.